Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another show. As you guys know, I'm the host, Dino. I'm not always by myself. I have a special guest with me today. To tell them what you do, what your name is, man.
Sure thing, Dino. My name is Josh Ford. I live in South Florida currently in West Palm Beach, and I am an account manager in the manufacturing industry for aerospace and defense.
Nice, nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I knew Josh for a while now, man. About like 10 years now, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Since probably you were close to middle school. I'm a few years ahead, but yeah,
Yeah.
high school, middle school age for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, we're just gonna get straight to the topic for today. Now, the topic for today is what to look for in a relationship from a guy's standpoint of view. Now, I don't want you ladies in the comment section talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. That's why I put this one from a guy's standpoint of view, what to look for in a relationship. Now, what I look for in a relationship, now I'm not superficial. I'm not gonna say, oh, I want somebody who's like with money. I'm not I'm not gonna say that because that's not what I want. What I look for in a relationship, I want somebody I can grow with. Build a future with. That's the type of relationship I want. When I come home, don't get mad if I come home late cause you're not sure what I had going on. Maybe I was stuck in traffic. You can get mad at me. I can control the traffic. So what you look for in a relationship, man?
Now, Dino, I think you just said like a few very important aspects, right?
Mhm.
You're kind of touching on delayed gratification, is what I call it, right?
Mhm.
Where it's not just about the here and now, but it's about the things that are coming down the road, and are the things that we focusing on here and now
Mhm.
going to help us, right? Help our
Mhm.
cause down the road.
Mhm.
And when it comes to, you were saying even about you stuck in traffic, right? Those things that you can control versus those things that you can't control, right? To me, I feel like there's a sense of understanding that needs to come from those that, from both parties in a relationship. You have to be understanding, and the other person also has to be understanding as well, and understanding that, all right, if you're making your best effort, most of the time, and people are understanding what's going on, then that they're able to understand, adjust, and know what's going on. So I think that those both of those things are very important. Just to piggyback off a little bit of what you said, and just overall, I feel like understanding can solve, in my opinion, all problems throughout the world, and just having a clear picture of what's to be painted, and from where you're going, emotional intelligence, and then from where that person's coming from. I think those are the basis and the grounding of that.
See, I'm glad you said emotional intelligence, man. Because some people want a man. Some girls, I'm not gonna say girls. Some women want a man who are emotional intelligent, but they don't realize what emotional intelligence do come with though. Because sometimes, dude, yeah, you want an emotional intelligent man, but sometimes that emotional intelligent man is gonna put you in your place. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, I think understanding is the basis.
Hmm.
I was actually reading a book by Daniel Go- Golet, if I say his last name correctly. He did Harvard Business Reviews, um, on emotional intelligence, and that was a lot of it was kind of workplace based, but in my opinion, a lot of it is relationship based as well, and it's applicable to both. And so, just really focusing on where are my words directed towards, and how are they going to come off. Where's my heart, right? In Christianity, we talk about that a lot. Like, where's the heart headed, and what's the intention? And I feel like that those type of things are very, very, very important in the and just the overall understanding and of your own emotions as well as somebody else's and taking them into consideration. Yeah. I disagree though. I don't think that somebody else's problem become your problem though. Like I do to a certain extent, right? Because they're an extension of you, right?
Yeah.
I just feel that that people have to maintain their individualism, and
Mm.
so people have to. You can understand somebody's problems, you can
Yeah.
be there for them, and you
Mhm.
can support them. But just because somebody else is going through something doesn't mean that is your personal problem as well.
Oh.
It can be our problem, right? In a relationship, it can be our problem,
Yeah.
something that we're dealing with. But just because somebody is individually going through something,
Mhm.
doesn't mean the significant other has to individually go through that thing as well. But they must be mindful throughout the whole time that this is what this person's going through,
Mhm.
and be able to support them accordingly, whether it's the good, the bad,
Yeah.
happy, the sad, etc. You know what
Got
I'm saying?
got you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
But another thing as well is the jealousy aspect of the situation.
Ooh, jealousy. That's
Yeah,
a sensitive topic.
yeah,
Jealousy.
I know. See, like me, I don't want a person who get jealous all the time, man. Like for example, if I'm talking to another another woman, like how you know that woman I wasn't my friend from high school or cause I didn't see her from a long time. Now you gonna get jealous now talking about Dina, who that woman is. I'm like, hold up now. Well,
Hey, that's a good point.
yeah. No,
So
no.
how do you deal with that though? That's a good question. Like how do you deal with that? Like if somebody is making assumptions, right?
Mhm.
How do you deal with the fact that they're making assumptions and to understand you know where you stand,
Mhm.
but to at least let them know that hey, you know, this assumption is incorrect.
Yeah, I just tell them straight up, man. You know, us man, we don't sugarcoat nothing. I just tell them straight up and say like, hey, this is just my friend or my cousin. My cousin I didn't see for a while, but I just keep it simple. If you don't believe me, that's your perspective.
But if she don't believe you, then what if the next day she want to break up with you because she don't believe you? You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I
Like how
mean,
are you gonna combat that?
if you don't believe, if you really, if you really like truly like me, now you wouldn't believe me. So we build the relation based on trust.
Okay,
If you can't trust me, then what's the point of this relationship?
that's a good one. So I'll
Mhm.
flip the script for you then.
Uh-huh.
So what if you're a lady, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, that you've been talking to for a little while,
Yeah.
you know, say she's your girlfriend, etc. What if you catch her kind of not catch her, but what if you see her kind of
Mhm.
talking to somebody else, and maybe to you, in your perspective, it seems a little flirtatious, right?
Oh. Mm.
And she says, "Oh, it's just my cousin, just my friend from high school, yada yada yada."
Mm.
How would you take that, and what would you do about that?
Mm. What? Well, that's a good question, man. I was just put to her side. I'm like, hey, I understand, like, people, like, I understand, like, you say he's your friend, but he's like a little bit flirting with you now. But he was a little bit flirting with you now. I don't appreciate that. Now, if you can like be less flirtatious, you know,
What if she said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't flirtatious.
oh, so
I'm
yeah,
just being a devil's advocate." You know what I'm saying? I just want to hear
oh
I
yeah,
just want to hear from your perspective.
you, s-
Because this real life, man, a lot of people go through these things, you know,
mhm,
and they don't know how to approach these situations.
mhm.
So like, I just want to hear like how you would deal with that, you know.
Um,
And it's tough. These are the toughest conversations that I feel like people can have because everybody wants to be so vulnerable and be so
mhm.
open about relationship talk. And actually, in podcasting, it's a big thing.
You,
Everybody has the right answers, the correct answers,
yeah.
but man, when times get tough and when you gotta answer the hard questions, like,
Mhm.
all right, what when it's put into action, what are, you know, what are you going to say? How are you going to react? Are you going to be proactive, etc.?
Yeah.
So I think those are kind of the hard hitters that make a lot of people be like, wow, man, like this is real life, and
Mm-hmm.
how do we go about this?
Mm-hmm. Like you see, like me, I'm not the type of guy who get mad easily, man.
I know that about
But
you for sure. You always been mild tempered.
yeah, like if you want to be with the flirtatious guy, go ahead, man. Like I'm shoot.
Hey, you ladies, that's a message from Dino. He said, if you want to be with other men, go ahead. But if
Cause
you're gonna
don't
be happy with me, be happy with me,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Like
Okay.
don't treat me like I want to be your choice. Don't treat me like an option now.
Yeah.
You like
But I do want to say, I do want to interject. I'm sorry
mhm.
to cut you off. I do want to interject and
Yeah.
say that as men, I mean, as people,
Uh huh.
we also got to be aware that people do have options.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
no, seriously,
Mm.
people have options, and so we have to be aware of that. But what I mean by that is, I think like back a long time ago, people would get into relationships or maybe even get married,
Yeah.
and they just feel like they're kind of stuck there, no
Mhm.
matter what happens,
Mhm.
and people act out, and there's and I'm talking years and years,
Mhm.
decades ago, where people feel like they're stuck there. But I think in today's day and age, there's a lot more sense of freedom and individualism, where
Mhm.
people have the right, as they should, to up and leave, right? And that might be a little controversial, but it is today's America, right? And
Yeah.
that's something that we see. So um, I just think that we as men have to make sure that we uphold a standard for ourselves
Yeah.
and for the people that were, our significant other,
Mhm.
so that they're satisfied in the relationship as well.
Got you.
It,
Mhm.
we can't just look at it like, oh, it is what it is.
Mhm.
Boom. No, whatever you did. I remember somebody told me this a long time ago, and I always stay true to it. Somebody said, whatever you did to get that girl,
Mhm.
keep doing it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like whatever you did, don't stop doing it. What are you doing? You
Mhm.
already set a precedence.
Yeah.
You have to gain and maintain, right? I
Mhm.
think those are very important
That's
things.
I was.
So yeah, that's I just wanted to let that be known.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I don't. I was watching a podcast. This person asked a question. Why man do this like when they want you, they do the stuff to make you know they want you, but as soon as already got you, they don't do the stuff no
Complacency.
more. Yeah, that's a big one though,
We
cause
get caught in that sometimes too. You think?
complacency.
Yeah. We could
Mm,
talk. Let's talk about complacency, man.
mm,
If you ever get caught in a spot of complacency, what do you do to even one realize that you're being complacent, and then two to get yourself kind of out of that? Have you ever been caught in that you could think of, or not so much?
well, define complacency. What you?
For example,
Uh huh.
you ever like got a girl flowers before, or did like or kind of went quote unquote above and beyond, or did something that you kind of wouldn't usually do?
Girlfriend.
Not for a girlfriend, but like for anybody. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I got my mom flowers.
For
I
like a significant other type though.
Nah, man. I
Cause your
know.
mom gonna love you regardless. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your mom, that's a different type of love. Your mom's gonna love you regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's for like a significant other or somebody, and then you kind of just do something for them that, I'm not even saying that something getting flowers is above and beyond. I think that, in my opinion, that's normal. But anything like that, where it's maybe you kind of doing a little extra than what's expected of you at times, and then from there
Mhm.
you maybe feel complacent, like you don't have to continue doing stuff like that, but get back into it. So that's just an example.
Got
It's different for everybody and everybody's relationship, but um,
I
that,
can't remember a time I was complacent though.
oh,
Yeah,
that boy always on 100.
yeah, man. Like,
I understand, sir.
yeah, like you do nice stuff for me, I do nice stuff for you. That's how the game works now.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
That's awesome. It's just continuous,
Yeah,
and
that's it.
that's my point. It's continuous. Yeah.
But the thing is, some men we don't know how to continue stuff though.
That's why that's why complacency exists.
Yeah.
I fall victim to it sometimes, you know.
Mhm.
I fall victim to it sometimes. I'm human, and then and for me, what I do is I might, she don't communicate that. Maybe I talk about things with my friends, right? You ever
Yeah.
talk about things with your friends and then say, yeah, this is going on. Maybe uh, things are getting a little bit um, not rocky, but communication isn't how it was, or
Yeah.
things don't feel the same way that it did before,
Mhm.
and so this is um, this is what's going on, and I think that often of times I think that feeling of complacency or um, stagnation is
Yeah.
where people will kind of point the red dot and say, yeah, maybe this is where it's stemming from,
Mhm.
and so that's just my opinion from what I've seen, not only from myself but maybe with other people as well.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with that. Well, the other thing too, people fall victim to is looks, man. Like,
Fall victim to.
yeah,
Okay.
cause they could be good looking on the outside, like a brother like me, you feel
Yeah, yeah,
me?
yeah, brother. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But now, yeah, but they don't realize what he got on the inside. Like he or she could be like the meanest person you ever met. Well, because you fall victim to the look, got a six pack or abs, she get thick, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
Before now, when you get into a relationship, now you realize that's not the type of person I thought you were.
What do you mean?
No, okay.
You had somebody misconstrued because of their appearance?
Mm, some people got somebody misconstrued, not me.
Okay.
But I like to judge on what's on the inside. Sure, looks good too, but that's not all that matters. You understand?
For sure.
hmm I mean, like with the looks part for me, I don't judge somebody based on looks. You good looking, cool. But how you gonna treat me in the long run? The same way I treat you, I expect the same thing in return.
Bars.
hmm Yeah.
We're gonna make a Fadino. We're gonna make a book. Fadino quotes. Add it to the book.
Yeah, that's it. What you think about? Do you judge somebody based on looks?
No, definitely don't judge anyone based on looks. I will say, I mean, this is a fundamental thing though. I feel like it's just human. Is a lot of the time we, not that we judge based on looks, but that we might approach somebody based on looks.
Yeah, that's just human nature, though.
Yeah. So you can't really combat human nature, but if somebody, because typically if you approach somebody, then essentially you're giving them the opportunity to prove
Mm-hmm.
you right or wrong about what you're already assuming about them,
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so if other people are given an opportunity where um, maybe that you weren't exactly the first time you seen them, you didn't have like a high sense of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
You could still easily get to know that person and really actually gain attraction towards them.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's why I say like you definitely don't judge, but I think I'll be remiss to say
Mm-hmm.
that I don't. That's not something that I look for. Is like that physical attraction as well.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that everything is not always true. Like you said, with just one thing doesn't mean another thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all of those things come into play and come into consideration
Mm-hmm.
when approaching a significant other.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Because some people they seek status than stability. Me, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Say that again for them Dino. Say it again one time.
I said some people stake status than stability.
Yeah.
For the people who don't get what I mean, this is basically it. Y'all keep focusing on, oh, I want somebody with the six-figure millionaire, three-car garage, four-bathroom, five-bedroom. Like have like all this and that. But what y'all don't realize, like, also if he or she doesn't make this certain type of money, or I can't be with you because you can't provide for me. But but you see, I grew up in a time where if you, we build this together, man. Like we grow together. all this like, oh, I want somebody for the money, for like 6 car garage. Like, where you Generation Jesus became coming up with that?
That's true, but I feel like I feel like if so I feel like that's just the internet right there, man.
Mhm.
That's just strictly the internet. But if you really get out there and you actually talk to people and
Mhm.
see where people are coming from, I don't think we see that so much.
No.
Maybe I'm a little blinded, because I'm very blessed and stuff. But I don't think a lot of people are really out here headhunting. Most people, specifically women, are like head hunting for those attributes.
Mhm.
I think that it does exist, but I think that people are really out here with um, honest and admirable intentions a lot of the time that we don't always see. But if you look with a wider lens,
Mhm.
you'll see those things. You'll see people with those intentions, and so um, I think we gotta look at it. Us as men gotta look at it a little bit wider as well.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense, man. Cause us as men, like, we don't look at that, man. We just see like the body and we think, okay, I could handle that. Or but what we don't realize is what come with it, though. Let's see. Oh, this topic's getting heated.
You think so? I think this is a good conversation, man, because I think there's a lot of things that some people might need to hear because people always, even in adolescence,
Mhm.
people are always kind of struggling with those type of things, but don't always have people to either talk to about it
Exactly.
or listen about it. So
Mhm.
I think you're doing a good thing here, and just letting people know that this is something that we all go through, we all deal with,
Thank
and
you.
and pushing the topic and the effort forward, you know.
Thank you. Thank you, man. But another thing about relationship too is people get into a relationship just because they're bored. I'm like, wait. So let me tell you. So you get a relationship just because you're bored. So you rather play with people's emotions. Now, if I'm bored, I go up on my PS4 or go outside, go work out or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna play with people's emotions. See, that's the thing I don't. Yeah. That's- yeah. Yeah. What you think about that, man?
I think that a lot. I'll say this.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people are scared to be alone.
Yeah.
Being alone does not equate to loneliness,
Mm.
and so a lot of people feel like just because they might be single for a certain period of time or
Mm.
anything, that they're 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 never going to find something or that their time is never going to come, but that is not the case.
Exactly.
That's not the case at all. I actually feel like that being alone, especially maybe after you have been in a relationship,
Yeah.
is beneficial
Mhm.
for your individuality and you understanding yourself
Yeah.
at a higher level, especially if you're young.
Mhm.
You understand who am I really? Who am I really? By
Yeah.
myself, not with somebody else
Exactly.
in a relationship, but who am I by myself? So these type of things are uncomfortable,
Mhm.
and that's what can make it feel alone at times, right?
Exactly.
But as I mentioned, it does not equate to loneliness.
Mhm.
Be be more. You have to be comfortable, and this is I'm only preaching this because I feel like because this is something I went through. But I feel like you have to be comfortable with yourself
Mhm.
and what and who you are and what you bring to the table as a human being before anything before you can allow somebody else back in your life and in your space.
Exactly. Now, you made a good point because being alone do not equal to loneliness. Because sometimes people say I'm lonely. No, you just need a hug.
Facts. Sometimes you just need a hug, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Because a lot of people say, I can't live without I can't live without a partner. Or I want somebody. But like somebody say, I'm a, oh, I want. The thing is though, Some women think, oh, I don't need a man. I'm an independent woman. hmm And that's why you got kids now.
Nah, you can't say that neither. Because the only reason I say that is because I know some. But I get where you're going with that. But I disagree, man. Because I feel like there's a lot of independent women out there,
hmm
right? There's a lot of independent women out there that that do a good job, whether they have kids or not, being independent. But as as a man, you kind of have to understand the type of woman that you're looking for.
Yeah, I understand that, man. Nah, I'm so sorry by the way, but um, like I grew up an only child, so my mom is a independent,
Yes.
independent person. So yeah, I'm not saying all independent women are bad. It's just like this generation Z take it so far, like they don't need a partner. They don't need a partner. So I'm just saying, okay, you don't need a partner just because, for example, just because your wife is making more than you, that doesn't mean you less. That doesn't make the man less. The man still can provide, but he can provide in a different way.
Facts,
hmm
facts. People have to understand their role with each other in a relationship, and obviously, money's the biggest thing that we go towards, but it's not everything.
Exactly. Exactly, man. I understand that money play a big role in society. Sure, you need money to survive, but in reality is in a relationship, like money ain't all that thing. Man, money is not all. Money is not all that, man. Because a person truly love you. Say like if you lose all the money in the world and you go back to sleeping in your car and they still with you, now that's really true love right there.
Yeah,
But yeah, so we're gonna take a short break and we're gonna get back to part two of this conversation.
sir.
hmm
This is how we fight our battles. This is how we win our battles.
right, y'all, welcome back. Now we had a question on the live. This person asks, if I have a lot of money, do I need a girlfriend or a wife? Now this, now that's a very good question. Whoever asked this, I feel like no. If you have a lot of money, you don't need a girlfriend or a wife because I feel like they're just gonna focus on the money part. They're just gonna focus on the money part more because they're not gonna know the actual person you are because they're gonna see the materialistic aspect of the thing. Like now, if you didn't have money and you met your significant other because you didn't have money, then you guys can build a relationship. Then you guys can build a relationship together. But if you had if you already got the money and you find a girlfriend and or a wife, now they're just gonna focus on the money part. They're not gonna actually know the human being behind all the status, behind all the flashy clothes and all that.
I mean, I really disagree.
Oh damn.
I say that. I'll tell you the only
Uh
reason
huh.
I say that though. I think that's the common take though. I think that's what most people think, and there's probably a lot of truth to it.
Uh huh.
But I will say that it's definitely not necessary because love is universal, right? And people can get to know each other regardless of the money or not, right? Obviously, money does play a lot of role, a high role in our lives, right?
Mhm.
And so I just want to make sure. So, as mentioned, I think love does play a large and significant role in a lot of our lifestyles. But the reason I disagree
Mhm.
is because it's definitely, even if you have money, it's definitely not the only thing that people are looking towards. Maybe most people, yes. But I think that, maybe I'm a little naive. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's still opportunity for a lot of people to get to know who you are. And it also takes a lot to gel with people and understand what they're looking for. And if money plays a part in that, I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, are more open to telling you, hey, money plays a part in what I'm looking for, or not what I'm looking for, as we kind of talked about earlier, right? Women are looking for the six figures and the this
Yeah.
more now than ever. I think there's a sense of transparency, and so I think that to answer the question, that was the YouTube question, right? Which
Yeah.
was, if you have money, if you're rich, I think was the terminology.
Yeah.
If you're rich, um,
Do I need a
do you
girlfriend?
need a wife or a
Yeah.
girlfriend? I mean, I definitely don't think the answer is yes. It may make things a little bit harder for you, but I mean, I also can't speak on it too much because I ain't rich.
Yeah.
I'm rich in spirit.
Yeah.
I
That's
ain't
it.
rich in money. I do well for myself, but I don't think that I do all right for myself, but I don't think that people are looking at me, or a lot of people I hang with as getches,
Mhm.
and so um maybe I'm a little naive in my answer, but I feel like there's definitely, based on what you said, I feel like there's definitely room for love and authentic
Mhm.
relationship in people's relationships, even if money is involved.
I,
And I've seen it before too. We
mhm.
went to we went to school together,
Yeah.
and if you looked at some of the people that we went to school with, they're if you looked at their parents and kind of their home situations, there was a lot of authentic relationships. Um, Even though, despite the fact that they had money, and I think that some things like that we kind of look past, real life examples.
There was only one person at the school that I know who was rich, but
We can disclose. Will undisclose. The name is undisclosed,
yeah,
but we can talk. We can talk about it off camera. But
yeah.
people do very well for themselves, and live different lifestyles. And I don't think it's the same across the board for either one. But the question is it possible? Is it optimal? Yes, it very much so can be, just depending your situation and who you are, and who that person is as well. So I know that's not the stereotypical podcast answer, but It depends.
Yeah, I agree. It does depend. Nah, I just gave my answer because that was just my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Nah, I like that. It's subjective, man. That's a good. You gave a good answer for
mm,
sure.
maybe when I grow older, my perspective on that will change.
When you get rich.
Yeah, when I get rich, my perspective on that will change.
Yes, sir.
But for now, that's just my perspective of things. I don't want you guys in the comment section talking about, Dino, you don't know what you're talking about here, man. Like, no, no, no. That's just my perspective on this, and that's it.
And we will also like to give this disclosure because we kind of did talk about it on the break a little bit, but just the fact that Fadino mentioned it in the beginning, but this meant like this is our two perspective,
Yeah,
right? We just two guys in our mid 20s, kind of just going through life, and we only know what we know, right?
yeah,
So obviously, there's a lot of other perspectives, whether it's from older men or women of different ages and ethnicities and ways of life, social livings, and stuff like that. And so, I think there's definitely like a room for probably a lot of um, maybe discourse, right?
yeah,
Maybe a lot of discourse, or maybe just kind of rebuttals. And so these are type of things where y'all tune in live to Dino's show, and you can tune in and talk about these things on the YouTube live
yeah,
or whatever platform. So I do want to point that out for Dino and the crew here.
yeah. Like, yeah, I agree with that. But thank you though. Like, this podcast has been interesting though. Like, the only reason I did this because like we don't talk about this thing as man, so that's why. Sometimes most relationships fail because we don't talk about these things. Like,
Mm.
I'm not saying all relationships fail, but
Hopefully not.
yeah. But no, that's the thing though. Like, man, us man, like we too, we're scared to be vulnerable. That's the thing. Like, it's okay. Like, we don't have to be strong all the time now. Rest, I mean,
You tell you tell your friends that you love them.
yeah, yeah,
Ah, man. Me too, bro. Me
yeah.
too. I tell all the homies I love them, man.
Mhm.
I think that's important.
Exactly, man. Cause us brothers, like, we don't like show love like that. Cause we think, well, they be like, love me. Why you love me for? I don't know. Like, but women, they tell each other, oh, I love them all the time. Oh, they tell each other, oh, I love you, stuff like that. But that's just their human nature. But if a man say that to other man, they be like, oh, he's one of those. Like,
I think that's the misconception that needs to be erased, man. I think we're seeing it more and more where I think we give people flowers a lot more than we used to back in the day,
mhm.
right? We see it in television now
Yeah,
and in the media, right?
exactly,
Where we want to give celebrities flowers and stuff like that. But
exactly.
honestly, I think it flows down. The fact that those media is being more positive, and we can flow it down to each other and say like, all right, we appreciate you for being who you are and stuff like that. I think that it's super contagious and important. Positivity is contagious
Exactly,
and
man.
it's important. So
We need to be positive in the world, man. Cause I miss the days, man, where you can just take off your jacket, lay over the puddle, man. That's it.
hey, bring back chivalry. Dino says chivalry is dead. Who killed it?
Generation Z.
Gen Z killed it apparently. Not my words. Not my words. So, nah.
But like, I think we can just cut it. Like, cut it for right now. And let me know if you guys need a part two. And I try to get a woman's perspective next time on the show. Cause I know you guys gonna be in the comment section. Gonna be the comment section gonna go crazy talking about Dino. Again, you don't know what you're talking about. Like I said before, this is a man's podcast. This is from a man's point of view, okay? So don't kill me in the comments. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.